Welcome to today's Explainer. We're about to completely demystify exactly what you're putting on your plate. We're taking a pretty fascinating journey today, starting way down in the invisible biology of nutrient deficiency inside your cells, all the way up to realistic, boots-on-the-ground survival hacks for your local drive-thru. We're stripping away the marketing noise and focusing strictly on the science of how your body actually works. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our agenda for today. First up, when your body runs empty. Second, the truth about superfoods. And third, the fast food survival guide.
Section 1. When your body runs empty. We'll explore the quiet, biological breakdown of nutrient deficiency.
Think of your body like a massive theater production. The macronutrients, they're the star actors. But the vitamins, they're the backstage crew. And the minerals are the stage itself. When that backstage crew goes missing, or the stage starts losing its bolts, the entire show slowly, quietly collapses. To really understand the scale of this, just look at this staggering number. 2 billion people worldwide have an iron deficiency. When you lack iron, your blood literally cannot carry enough oxygen to your tissues, which causes anemia. You just feel constantly exhausted. But what's truly wild here is that a severe mineral deficiency can trigger a condition called pica, where your body gets so incredibly desperate for missing minerals that you develop bizarre cravings to eat non-food items. Things like dirt, ice, or chalk. Your body literally starts treating the ground like a snack option.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is what happens when we actively avoid certain nutrients, like dietary fats. Look at this breakdown. Your brain is roughly 60% fat. Essential fatty acids are absolutely critical for brain function. For decades, fat was unfairly villainized. But avoiding dietary fats can literally starve your brain, leading to cognitive decline, depression, and severe brain fog. So if you're feeling emotionally all over the place, it might just be that you aren't eating enough fat. And that collapse, it extends to every single system if you don't give your body the right raw materials. Let's rapid fire through this list. Without the construction crew of protein, your body still desperately needs amino acids to keep your vital organs going. So it just starts breaking down your own muscle tissue. Your body is basically eating itself. And fluid leaks into your tissues, causing belly swelling, known as edema. Miss out on vitamin C? Well, you risk scurvy, that old pirate disease that causes bleeding gums simply because you skipped fruit for too long. If you cut out carbs entirely, your body initiates gluconeogenesis to survive, and that results in severe brain fog and nausea. A tiny 1 to 2% drop in optimal water levels, that measurably impairs your short-term memory. And if you skip fiber, you are just facing constipation. You're actually starving the trillions of beneficial bacteria in your gut microbiome. And those are the exact bacteria that manage your immunity and even your mood.
Ultimately, a lack of protective nutrients leads straight to this: oxidative stress. Think of your body's immune system as a team of security guards. They're constantly chasing down these tiny troublemakers called free radicals. When you don't consume enough antioxidants to provide backup for those security guards, well, the troublemakers run loose. They damage your cells and accelerate aging. The absolute best way to send in backup: colorful foods like berries and dark leafy greens.
Moving to Section 2, the truth about superfoods, where we are stripping away the marketing noise.
Let's compare a viral TikTok myth against the, boring truth. On the left, we have trendy sea moss. The internet claims it has 92 essential minerals. But the reality? Human biology only requires about 16 essential minerals. The math simply doesn't make sense, and eating too much can actually overload your thyroid with iodine. Now look over at the right, the boring, humble blueberry. Studies actually show the deep blue pigments in them, called anthocyanins, can cross the blood-brain barrier. In fact, one massive Harvard study found that eating blueberries regularly can delay measurable cognitive aging by up to 2.5 years. So yeah, the boring truth wins.
And this brilliantly illustrates our next core concept: bioavailability. It honestly doesn't matter what you eat. It matters what your body can actually absorb. Take turmeric, for example. It contains curcumin, which is this powerful anti-inflammatory, but on its own, it's very poorly absorbed. However, if you combine curcumin with piperine, which is the active compound in standard black pepper, its bioavailability, meaning its absorption rate, is boosted by a staggering 2,000%.
We see this exact same requirement for proper preparation with garlic. Garlic's true medical power comes from an active compound called allicin, which lowers blood pressure and boosts immunity. But allicin doesn't just naturally exist in the clove. It requires an enzymatic reaction to form. You literally have to crush or chop the clove, and then you just have to let it sit there for about 10 minutes. If you immediately throw it into a pan on high heat, you'll completely destroy the health benefits before they even form.
We also need to unlearn some pretty outdated advice. Look at this comparison: egg white omelets versus whole eggs. For decades, cholesterol fear-mongering told us to toss the yolk. But doing that means you're essentially eating the cardboard packaging and throwing away the actual food. Whole eggs contain 6 grams of complete protein, lutein for your eyes, and, crucially, choline. Choline is absolutely essential for brain function and liver health, and get this, roughly 90% of Americans are deficient in it.
Another massive misunderstanding happens with omega-3s. On the left, we have chia seeds. Don't get me wrong, they are fantastic for soluble fiber that turns into a gel in your stomach and sustains your fullness for hours. But your body converts their plant-based ALA omegas into usable forms at a terrible rate of just 5 to 10%. If you want real omega-3s to protect your brain, retina, and heart, you need the direct, usable EPA and DHA found on the right in fatty fish like salmon. Now, all of this science is great when you're at home cooking wild-caught salmon and wild blueberries. But let's face reality for a second. What happens when you're exhausted, it's 9 p.m., and you were stuck staring at a fast food drive-thru menu?
Section 3. Fast Food Survival Guide. Real-world hacks for the modern drive-thru.
So the crucial point here is that fast food isn't inherently evil. The 1,000-calorie fast food disasters almost always come from what's called the quiet defaults trap. It's that heavy dollop of mayo, the massive sugary drink, the oversized refined carb bun, and those upgraded fried sides. If you can learn to control these quiet defaults, I promise you, you can survive any menu out there.
Let's look at a direct comparison from Burger King to prove this. On the left, the calorie trap. A standard Whopper with mayo and fries easily blasts past 1,000 calories. But look at the clean hack on the right. You order a Whopper Jr., ask for no mayo, and swap the fries for a side salad with light vinaigrette. Asking for no mayo alone cuts 100 calories and 11 grams of fat instantly. You still get that real flame-grilled burger taste, 13 grams of protein, and the whole shebang clocks in at under 350 calories.
Here's your insider drive-thru cheat sheet. At McDonald's, the Egg McMuffin with apples is just 310 calories with a solid 17 grams of protein. Just skip the hash browns. At Taco Bell, the Chicken Power Menu Bowl gives you an incredible 26 grams of protein for 470 calories as long as you ask for light cheese and no sour cream. Over at Chipotle, getting a salad bowl with beans instead of rice and skipping the queso immediately saves you 340 calories. And at Wendy's, grab the grilled chicken wrap and pair it with a plain baked potato. That gives you a highly satiating 540-calorie meal packed with 33 grams of protein.
Let's move to and see how this builds when we look at KFC. Most people walk into KFC assuming fried chicken is literally the only option. But look at this chart. A 3-piece grilled chicken order with a side of green beans instead of fries delivers an insane 60 grams of protein for just about 380 calories. It's genuinely one of the highest protein per calorie orders in the entire fast food landscape, completely dominating the classic fried sandwich.
Even pizza and coffee shops have hacks, you guys. Pizza isn't the enemy if you just control the crust thickness and the portion size. 2 slices of thin crust veggie pizza paired with a side salad and water keeps the whole meal balanced. And Starbucks, well, it's basically a dessert shop disguised as a coffee shop. But if you grab their spinach feta wrap and a black coffee, you get 19 grams of protein for 290 calories, and you entirely avoid that 340-calorie cheese Danish sitting in the pastry case calling your name.
This entire explainer really boils down to this quote. The trick isn't avoiding fast food, it's knowing what the quiet default adds to the meal. Real long-term health isn't built on a crash diet. It's built on eating colorful, minimally processed foods consistently, over years, and having the tactical knowledge to navigate our modern food environment without all the guilt.
Which leaves us with one final question to ask yourself the very next time you look at a menu. Are you controlling your quiet defaults, or are they controlling you? Memorizing just one clean order per restaurant is a survival skill that will seriously serve you for the rest of your life. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this completely changes the way you look at your next meal.